2013-2014 school year from ours.
As you know, we have improvement required for middle school. And at this time, we'll conduct a public hearing for anybody that would like to make comments with regard to that. Ms. Sullivan, would you like to say anything?
Just that the reason we were in improvement required was due to missing index 4. And index 4 was the post-secondary indicator, which was the percent of graduates meeting the college-ready criteria in both reading, OA, and math on the tax exit level, or SAT or SET. And we have developed some strategies and interventions to take care of that.
Are there any comments in regard to that?
Now we'll move on to the district improvement plan and campus improvement plan for 2014-2015.
Ms. Silver's going to go over our plans, which you can find on page 6 of your board book.
We had a district level leadership team meet and create a targeted district improvement plan. And first, a needs assessment was conducted, and these are the items that we felt were needed, which was an increase in the percent of students meeting the final level 2 or above for 2 or more tests for grades 3 through 12. Increase in the percent of graduates meeting college-ready criteria in both reading, ELA, and math on tax exit level, or SAT or ACT. We need to decrease the performance gap of our African American, ELL, and special education students. And then we needed to increase the rigor in the instructional delivery for all content areas. And so based on that, we created some common interventions. We decided that common assessments were going to be completed every 6 weeks. Research-based online supplemental programs, data talks, and PLC meetings would be conducted. Academic interventions would be done. We would increase PSAT and SAT participation and provide access to Edgenuity prep courses. Action plans based on principal data meetings, structured lesson plan template, evidence of differentiated instructional strategies, English acceleration plan for ELL students, a review of the student progress and transition students to a more inclusive setting, and then the implementation of the fundamental 5.
Can we answer any questions?
We're doing this.
These are the things we're doing.
Are we progressing?
We have been looking at the 6-week common assessment data, and in some areas, yes, we are progressing, and in others, of course, we still have some work to do.
Any other questions?
Mr. Barnes is going to present the Cleveland Middle School Targeted Improvement Plan.
Good evening. Our index that we didn't meet was index 3, which was the closing the gaps index between our overall student scores and our 3 groups were economic disadvantage, African American and Hispanic. Now, African American was really our really big focus area. Our interventions are some of the ones that Ms. Silver just mentioned, 6 weeks common assessments. We've also implemented accelerated reading, uniform lesson plans, and then we added 2 instructional specialists to help with our instruction in our classrooms. Our common assessments are how we're measuring our progress and growth in both grade levels, and in all the tests we've been giving. We have been closing those gaps, and also in our accelerated reader, it's also showing those the kids making a lot of improvement. In 7th grade, in the first from May to October, they gained about 5 months of growth. In 8th grade, they gained about 9 months of growth. And on each one of our assessments in those groups that we were focusing on, those gaps have been as we close. Not close, but they were a lot closer than they were when I was starting tests.
Someone say something about the AR reading program at it's going very, very well. And a lot of people really don't grasp, um, the need for that, in that, they don't see necessarily the benefits of it. But what we're doing is not only increasing the reading levels of those students, but we're building vocabulary and so forth. And, those skills that they're gonna need in test taking, because so much of our tests, whether it's in the math or the social sciences or English is reading. So that's such a critical skill for us. And for us to, especially like at the 8th grade level, see a increase of 9 months over the course of a couple months period, is really, really outstanding. And so I'm looking forward to see, naturally, we're not gonna see that type of growth every, period that we test. But, I'm looking forward to seeing what we do over the course of the next year. And I will say this, we do not have enough books in the middle school library, so we'll be using some grant funds to buy some more books, because they're going through them faster than I've seen in a long time. So I'm really, really proud of your success in that area.
Any other questions? Thank you, Ms. Williams. Thank you, Ms. Silver. Any public comments about, the improvement required rating specifically at this time? If not, the next item on the agenda is open forum. Any other comments from anyone at this time? If not, then the next item on the agenda is reports. Dr. Myers?
You have in your packet the reports from the principals, for you to review from the departments as well. I would, take just an opportunity to talk about a few things from a superintendent standpoint. Right now, our student enrollment is at, 3,845, which is up just, a little bit, which is nice. And, we do have some upcoming things that are happening in the district as far as both academics and other areas. First, our third common assessment, is being conducted this week. And, once we get back from the Thanksgiving holidays, then we'll have those graded. We'll sit down with the principals, from each campus, and we'll do our data talks with regards to, the results of those common assessments and, some other data that deals with both discipline and attendance as well. We are conducting our monthly administrative, team snapshots, on each one of the campuses. Our instructional specialists, APs, and principals do snapshots on a daily basis. But once a month, we do a sweep of the campus, and, the central office administrators, have the opportunity to go and get into classrooms and, do snapshots of the instruction that's going on in the classroom. Also, I would, make you aware that, as you know, we talked about, putting out, an RFQ or request for qualifications from architectural firms. And that RFQ is, due this Friday, so those should be coming in for the board to take a look at this Friday. And then we are working on, our 2015-2016 school calendar with our district, educational improvement committee. We have a couple of rough drafts. We're trying to line our spring break up with Lone Star College, for our students. And, at the same time, we're gonna wait till probably December, when the Region Center has, basically a day of bank of all subject to change depending upon, what may or may not be passed in the legislature. But nonetheless, we have to have that process in place and go ahead and get it in place, so that our parents, our community will made aware. The other thing I would tell you is, our attendance rates, at Southside, we're running 95.98%. Northside, we're at 96.92%. Eastside, we have 96.18%. For our middle school, we have 96.25%. And in the high school is 94.68%. Which that gives us a district average of 95.6%. And as you know, our district goal is 97%. So right now we're running behind, on that district goal by 1.4%. 97% is a laudable goal, and that's really where we need to be at. So we need to hopefully have some good breaks as far as weather in the spring and winter months and spring months to try to get us back up to that. And we are working on that attendance. Now, I'll answer any questions that the board may have.
Any questions for the superintendent or any of the administrative reports? If not, we'll move on.
When you say administrative reports, you mean everybody's report on the
Yes.
campuses? I just had one question. Do we now have adaptive behavior units on each campus, correct?
No, we don't.
We're working on
We
that.
share, adaptive behavior units between campuses, south side, north side, east side middle school. And then what we did was approved a spot for the high school campus. That would be good.
So no more at the alternative campus?
Correct. We're working on the ABU unit and its implementation at the high school.
And is there, did we talk about it, or did I dream that we were thinking about maybe changing the name of that?
No, we talked about it.
We mentioned it.
I have
I don't want to
Just
interest, it's an SDC.
changing it from adaptive behavior to.
Something a
SDC
little more
is what a
motivating.
lot of districts do. It's very negative connotation with that.
Anyway, okay, I just wondered if, what we could do to move forward with that, if it was a good idea. Probably not me.
Any other questions? If not, we'll move on to the next agenda item, which is the audit report.
expense-wise, we expended, $35,039,000, for the year, compared to 31 million last year, so up about $4 million. A little over 2.5 million of that, relates to our increase in payroll costs, and that includes payroll and all of the related costs associated with it. We added personnel back, as you're well aware, from the budgeting process, and that was the predominant reason for that. Facility maintenance, operating costs, were up a little over $500,000 from the prior year, and these were the major elements then of that particular increase. How does this relate to your general fund? If you turn over for just a minute to, probably be page 24 for you. It's Exhibit C3. You have a column on that page for general fund and debt service fund and other funds. Those two are your major funds, and then all of the other funds, which predominantly are your other federal and state revenues, which are maintained in separate funds. First column, general funds. At the bottom, you can see that you had a net change in fund balance of $2,380,000. Again, this is the primary element of that 2.7 we just looked at as far as the overall district numbers are concerned. Your total revenues, excuse me, for the general fund of $29,696,000 was up $2.5 million. Again, virtually all of your state aid increase there is involved here. 2.4 million total from all the state program revenues in the general fund. And then your expenditures were up about 3.4 million. In the prior year, we had a larger increase in our fund balance than we had in the current year, but you still had a sizable increase in the current year, predominantly because of the state program funds, which we weren't totally sure of what that was going to be in your budget process last year, but turned out very well for you. Bottom line then, your general fund, you have a fund balance of $17.5 million. A good, healthy situation where you can take care of some needs, as long as you don't have to build a public school or something like that, which would be $30 to $50 million probably, as far as that's concerned. I'm gonna take a sip. Do you have a question? I did forget to mention, and we're talking about your numbers on all of this stuff. The only thing in these reports that is truly mine are the 3 opinion letters. In the front, you have an unmodified opinion on the basic financial statements, which is the district as a whole. In the back of the report, the federal section, the federal and compliance section, you have 2 reports, one in accordance with government auditing standards and one in accordance with federal regulations under A133. Neither of
you. Good night. The next item on the agenda is budget amendment number 1, Dr. Myers.
If you look on page 99 of your board packet, this is our first budget amendment. Essentially what we have is notice of grant awards for both our priority grants and our focus grants. The first one, if you look, under the revenue for amended budget, the Northside Priority Grant, notice of award came in, it was for $149,861. The next one is for $32,000, and that's $16,000 each for both the high school and the middle school focus grant. And then we had a remainder of the priority grant from last year, one month's worth of that was carried over for this year, $45,032. So essentially, the budget amendment is to include those grant awards into our budget. And at the bottom of the page, you can see where those expenditures lie.
Do I have a motion concerning the budget amendment?
So moved.
Motion for Sky. Have a second, please. Second, Christie. Any questions or discussion? If not, all those in favor? Motion passes 7-0. Next item on the agenda is bills and payroll. Dr. Myers.
Immediately following that, on page 100 begins our bills and payroll, and we have a listing of our checks and so forth, and be happy to have our business department answer any questions that you may have on those, or get any information that you need.
Do I have a motion concerning bills and payroll? Motion from Christie. Second, please, from John. Any questions or discussion? If not, all those in favor? Motion passes 7-0. The next item on the agenda is the minutes from the regular meeting of October the 20th. Motion concerning those minutes.
So moved.
Motion from Kelly. Have a second, please. Second. Second from Larry. Any questions, discussion, or corrections to those minutes?
All the minutes we discussed that we just approved of these. We're gonna get copies of them.
Any other questions? If not, all those in favor? Motion passes 7-0. The next item on the agenda is a proposal for life insurance with or without accidental death and dismemberment. Dr. Myers?
We had talked about that with the board, and I've asked Ms. Hall to investigate that for the board. So Ms. Hall?
Yes, I put a piece of paper on your, in front of you, and we appreciate y'all letting us use a new third-party administrator, and I have a representative from Combined Benefits Group here today. His name is Randy Erline, and he can answer more specifically and better the questions. I went to Dr. Myers when I found out, when I got here, that we weren't offering a benefit that most districts do, just accidental death, things of that nature. So if you're an employee of the district and you died, you pay, pretty much most districts pay $10,000. We got a bid for that. It's just a nice benefit to have for your employees while you're employed at the district. It doesn't cost very much, and notice right there is an actual quote from Assurant in front of you, and it's rated, of course, by age. So you've got, when they took the bid of 482 employees, that would have been the cost. I scribbled in for basically 500 employees just for, the accidental death and, help me Randy, the life and accidental death is $1.50, been about $750 for 500 employees. So we're talking less than $1,000 to offer a great benefit for employees if something were to happen to them. It's just another reason why you'd want to come to Cleveland. It's just a benefit that we would offer. Randy can actually explain it and talk a little bit better. So go ahead, you explain it.
First of all, thank you all. We appreciate the opportunity to be able to work with y'all's employees. We're looking forward to that. When we sent out the bids with the insurance committee, we sent it out to about 7 carriers. 3 responded. Some of them didn't respond just because there wasn't a benefit in place. They came back with a 17-cent rate. It's basically a 15-cent rate for just life, a term life policy, and then the additional 2 cents for an accidental death rider to that. So if it was death as a result of accident, it would double. Assurant came back, and after they won the bid on the voluntary term life, which we're going to offer the employees, we kind of negotiated with them a little bit, and they came down to this 15-cent rate for the basic term life with additional accidental death included on it. Over time, that could come down. That actually could come down during this initial enrollment, maybe a penny. The reason it didn't at this time is they don't know what they're going to get with the participation in the voluntary life, because there's no history there. So, over time that could come down, but it is probably one of the least expensive benefits that you can provide your employees. When they're looking for a place to come and you're trying to recruit, good teachers to work on those test scores, it's a little bonus that you do have.
So if you only had the life, it would be about $1.30, and if you added the life and the AD&D, it'd be about $1.50. It would double.
And those amounts are a monthly amount, that's $750 and $650, or is that?
The $1.50 would be per month, per year. And then for anybody that's over age 65, it's reduced, I think 35%, and over 70, it's reduced to 50%. So that's why if you do the math on that,
That amount what?
$1.50 times 482 doesn't add up. So there are some employees that are over age 65 and over age 70. So.
So any questions about that? What is the board's preference? I guess we need to decide whether we want to do just life or life and accidental death. Is that?
Yeah.
It's really not interested.
Every day we do.
Can I make a motion to do them all?
Okay. I have a motion from Kelly to offer both life and accidental death. Do I have a second from Sky? Any other questions or discussion?
This will be effective when?
January 1.
That's
Remember-
like open enrollment.
We're starting, the enrollment process will start December 1 for all the supplemental benefits other than the medical insurance. So
And do you have staff that go to each campus, or?
we'll have 7 folks coming over. We'll start up, we'll have, we basically set up about 1 person for every 20 employees on the campus. So
We're having informational meetings this week at every campus and in administration for auxiliary employees. And then the first week in December, they're coming back with anywhere from 3 to 7 enrollers, depending upon the size of the campus and the number of employees, and staying all day to enroll. We're gonna make sure that every employee sits down with a representative.
Are they
if at all
actually
possible.
enrolled to where it's put into our system right then, or are y'all having to take the paperwork and input it here?
They have a benefits hub that they're gonna enroll in, the employees are gonna go into that benefits hub with one of them. They're gonna see exactly their deductions and what it's gonna cost them per paycheck. And then, the he's promised me Kurt is gonna come down and upload that system into
Okay.
Skyward, and it's gonna run smooth as all get out.
Yeah, can I stand up and clap?
So it's,
That's great.
we're gonna check with the employees on the health, even though they can't deal with the health, to make sure it's accurate with their dependents and everything. And, they'll do this every year. Remember, this is a short voluntary span from January to August, and in August, we'll get on the same calendar year.
Sounds
I
smooth.
would also point out that there's a portal for our employees to be able to access at any time what insurances that they are currently holding, so that they can go online and, when they have questions, actually see what they've purchased.
But to make any changes, they would have to go through.
It's with, section 125, you can't, once, from the 1st to the 10th, that hub's going to be open for them to go in and add, so that, like the 4th to the 6th, we're enrolling them. So they still have a few days if they want to make, but the 10th, it's gonna close so that we can get everything processed by January 1. And once they enroll in a cafeteria 125 plan, they cannot change unless it is a qualifying
Well, that's
event.
common.
Yes, ma'am, very common. And so they'll have to stick with that until August, when the enrollment goes through.
And they're gonna be given plenty of information ahead of time to
We're
make.
doing, right, we did a meeting today at the high school. And so we're going through, they have a website, it's up right now, we're still adding documents to it for all their claims, forms, plan information is available 24/7, 365 that they have access to. We've printed up a 60-page booklet of all the brochures of all the benefit plans
Good.
that we're handing out to all employees as well. So we're hitting, I think, 7 tomorrow and 3 the next day.
And
So
that's
we're-
all their insurance coverage, not just their life and.
It will have, right, we have the medical included in there with the
Okay.
rates, everything is included in the rates, so, you're gonna have new hires, so, the booklet is right there. And so this is gonna be the enrollment for the medical as well through this benefits hub
Okay.
system, so it's a kind of a one source spot for their enrollment, so.
Yeah.
All the information is gonna be on that hub, so if they lose that booklet, they have access to go to that website and pull, and we're gonna have it, Susan's gonna get on the website for us. So that it's easy access for all the forms, for any information, if they can't get a hold of someone usually.
Any questions? All those in favor? Motion passes 7-0. And the next item on the agenda is proposed maximum class size exception waiver. Dr. Myers?
As the board knows, we've been having issues with, I guess, recruiting enough bilingual teachers in the district. And, right now, we're actually one bilingual teacher short at the north side campus, which causes us an issue with class sizes. Right now, at the north side campus, we have 3 bilingual teachers. And, as a result of that, we have 4 classes that are under the 22 to 1 mark. One class has 24 students in it, and 3 classes have 25 students in it. So, as a result of that, and as a result of not being able to secure a teacher at this point, which we are actively seeking, but they're not out there, we are asking that the board approve for us to follow a class size waiver with the state until such time as we can obtain another bilingual teacher at the campus.
I have a question about it. Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Is it just for bilingual? Because this is so broad. I mean, it's not detailed.
It's just for the bilingual classes that,
But it's really for all of them. I mean, are we voting, are we making the motion to do this for all of any class, or just bilingual
you can word it in your motion so
Yeah.
that it stays for the bilingual classes.
only? Yeah, because I have a real problem with that. I mean, I just personally,
We don't necessarily have a problem getting certified
Yeah.
teachers that are not, required to be bilingual. and that's not an issue for us.
That's good.
The issue that we have is in the bilingual area. So, we're not gonna exceed in our English-speaking populations. It's just the bilingual area we have the problem.
Any other questions? If not, do I have a motion?
I make a motion for bilingual classes to exceed more than 22.
All right, do I have a second, please? Second from Tammy. Any other questions or discussion? If not, all those in favor? Motion passes 7-0. The next item on the agenda is requisition 10733 concerning the purchase of two 77-passenger buses and one 4-passenger bus. Dr. Myers?
If you look on page 145 of your board packet, you'll see the bids that came in, with regard to the buses. You know that we budgeted 4 buses in our budget. And, as you can see here, the bids are relatively close, on those two. The Thomas, Gulf Coast bus, came in at $272,910. The Longhorn bus sales came in at $272,151. My recommendation to the board would be that we take the higher bid, $600 higher or so, from the Thomas Bus Company. And I make that recommendation based on 2 reasons. One, the Thomas bus comes, with a little bit larger Cummins engine in it. And, number 2, I've had much better luck with the Thomas chassis, over the international chassis, just because they have, a little bit heavier and, a little bit more, riveting on the chassis itself. And there's an additional, 1-year warranty on the Thomas over the international as well.
Did you want to say something? No, he said, okay. I'll make a motion that we approve it.
Motion from John, have a second, please. Second from Tammy. Any other questions or discussion? If not, all those in favor? Motion passes 7-0. The next item on the agenda is information regarding potential early college high school program. Dr. Myers?
One of the things that we had talked about, investigating was early college high school for our students here at Cleveland. It's a very, in-depth process and a process that requires quite a bit of planning. It's not something that you are just able to enter into in just a few months. So right now, Ms. Silva and I have been investigating it. I was to go to a meeting on it, last Monday, but it was canceled. So that's been rescheduled, but Ms. Silva's also got some information for you with regard to early college high school, and you can find that in your, board packet as well. Ms. Silva?
The information that I obtained and that's in, on page 177 is from the TPA website. And so it's just a brief description of what the early college high school is. The closest school district that has implemented an early college high school is Splendora ISD, so I've been talking to Ms. Bell. One of the things that we definitely need to look at is the cost. The district has to pay for all of the tuition and fees and books we have to enter into an agreement with the college, which would be Lone Star College. The other piece is that we would have to dedicate a principal for the program 100%. And then we would have to phase in a counselor and a liaison. And the teachers would also have to be phased in to 100% of just serving these students. So there's a budgetary piece that we're gonna have to really look at and see how we can do that.
Have you actually talked to Splendora about this?
I've had email conversations with her. I'm scheduling a meeting to go over there and see how the logistics of it. One of the things we can opt to do is bus the students to the college, or we can have the college professor come here. But once we hire teachers, we have to make sure that they only teach those courses for those students. And those students would have to get 60 hours of college credit by the time they graduate.
They haven't been doing this very long, have they?
Splendora has actually graduated some students through Lone Star College with an associate's degree, I believe, last year. They did some, and I'm not sure when they started graduating them, but they have implemented it for several years now.
I'd be interested to know more about it.
Splendora's superintendent and high school principal, I guess, did a presentation on it at one of the board,
San Antonio,
yeah.
that college, we went to San Antonio. That was one of the classes that was offered.
I mean, I know it's expensive, but
New Caney ISD, I think, just started it this year with a group of ninth graders.
is there I'm sure there's something in place for accountability for the student as well, right? I mean, can you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, you have to create a plan. Like Dr. Meyer said, it's an extensive plan where you have to create policies and procedures and entrance criteria and how they have to maintain in the program for so long. I know that in New Caney, one of the things that they have set is that the students can't participate in extracurricular activities. They can't be in band, they can't be in any of those things because they're dedicated 100% of the time to getting the college hours as well as their high school credits to graduate.
That's just at New Caney.
That's at New Caney.
It's not like that in Splendora?
No, it's not like that at Splendora.
So I guess we can learn more about this, right? That's good.
I just wanted the board to be aware that we're working on it, but it's a very in-depth process. It's not something that, I guess is entered into lightly because it is a very large expense for the school district. And, it requires a great deal of commitment from the students, so, and it requires a great deal of organization on the district's part before, being able to enter into that with the college. Lone Star College obviously is very interested in us doing it, and us becoming a part of that. But at the same time, we'll work through it and we'll get back to the board. And there possibly could be some other options in it too, or avenues for kids. We're just now really getting into the beginnings of it. But I wanted you to be aware that that's going on.
I have one question. Is there any type of special funding, maybe any type of federal funds, or could a student maybe use some type of, that maybe they may be qualified for when they actually graduate? Do you know the answer to that?
I don't know the answer to
Okay.
that. I know that when I talked to Ms. Bell in Splendora, she said that it's all local funds that they're using to pay for.
You have any kind of idea how much it will cost at all?
I have no, because it's gonna depend on whether we hire teachers or whether we bus them and, you know, it's,
But we have different models.
Yeah.
Did she say how they started theirs? I know they've had it for a while.
they've had it for a while. No, I haven't gotten that in depth with her to discuss how exactly they started it. But yeah, I'm scheduling a meeting with her to kind of get the whole logistics of it.
Because they've had it for a while.
Yes, I believe so.
My question is, Dr. Mars, is this something we would focus on before we would focus on implementing a CAPE program? I mean, is this as opposed to, in addition to?
In addition to,
But that right now would be our primary focus, is trying to get more career
science program back. And so we're working on that.
I'm just thinking from a budget perspective, you know, as far as funds and how we allocate and where that money comes from, I would think that our CAPE program would be priority and our primary, yeah. Just curious.
Any other questions? The next item on the agenda is the highly qualified report.
Ms. Hall?
Yes, in front of you, you have your highly qualified report for this year. It was due today. I submitted it on Friday. And, two campuses did not, meet the highly qualified. Southside basically because of the bilingual situation, finding bilingual teachers. And, Eastside was the same way in the bilingual area there. The one special education is just a, snafu on, special education is so hard because you have to have both special education certification and you have to have the certification for in the classroom. And in that particular case, we thought we had it, but we didn't. And so that's an easy fix. And, we'll be a little bit more careful with that. And remember, we can go back and adjust these. This was just a snapshot report as of September the 16th, and we can go back and adjust those when they do become highly qualified before the end of the year. Okay? Any questions on any of that?
Thank you, Ms. Hall. The next item on the agenda is the first reading of proposed FFAC local policy. Myers.
If you look on page 176 of your book, you find that local policy. And what this policy deals with is health and wellness services for our students. Midway down on the page, under the tab provided by parent, number one, prescription medication in accordance with legal requirements. And what we would like to add to that is intranasal anesthesia medication must be provided to the district in single-dose vials. And the reason for that is because unless there's an RN present, you cannot draw that up from the dose vials. So, and we don't have RNs on each campus as we have LPNs. So we really need to add that to the policy to ensure that we're within the law. So I submit that to you for first reading, and I'll bring that back. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Will it get single dose?